Thank you for 1.4k. I'm fucking sick. And you know what else is sick? The way Inazuma 11 handles type interactions. It's surprisingly great, especially since the series released in 2008. And the last time an element was added was 2011. It's 2024 now, and that shit makes me feel kinda old. There are 4 types in OG and 5 types from Go onwards. Based on the natural properties of these types, no one type at its core is objectively far superior to the rest. That may sound boring or maybe even pointless depending on what other games you play, but the balance provided through elements is a feature that makes Inazuma 11 such a well-designed experience. Elements are one of the most fundamental features in Inazuma 11. Every character, fighting spirit, soul, and Hisatsu has an element assigned to it. As I've already stated, there are 5 elements. These are fire, wind, earth, wood, and void. The main 4 are based on Furin Kazan, which based on my research is a Japanese war flag from the Sengoku era, and it states as swift as wind, as gentle as forest, as fierce as fire, and as unshakable as a mountain. A move, character, or aura mechanic's visual properties, components, and theme usually determine what element it is. For example, a move including rock or a character whose theme is a mountain are most likely going to be earth element. However, most likely is an important phrase because sometimes level 5 be on their bullshit and shit just doesn't match up. Each element has one type it has an elemental advantage over, one type it has an elemental disadvantage into, and then 2 neutral types. One of those neutral types is always going to be void regardless of what type it is. However, none of that applies to the void type itself at all, but we'll get into the void type after. Fire. Fire element is weak to earth, strong against wood, and neutral to wind and void. Wind. The wind element is weak to wood, strong against earth, and neutral to fire and void. Wood. The wood element is weak to fire, strong against wind, and neutral to earth and void. Earth. The earth element is weak to wind, strong against fire, and neutral to wood and void. If you couldn't tell, this forms a 4-way rock paper scissors style relationship cycle. Each element is equally viable and important and a set counter to a different type. Then we have the void type. This type is neutral to every type in the game, including itself. So you basically tell type interactions to go fuck themselves. However, it does balance itself out since there are no void type characters. You can't get stabbed on any of your void type moves because of that. There is an elemental boost skill for void though. And since void is neutral to everything, you lose the potential chance of getting a boost over your opponent, which can be the difference between a goal and a savable shot. I know I just mentioned there are no void type characters, but the truth is there are no playable void type characters. For some reason, they decided to give the void type to a random Triceratops that jump shoot whilst time traveling and go to Chronostones. The elements affect your interactions against other characters. In a command duel, it's handled player element to player element, then move element to move element. This makes coverage as well as stab equally important, which is pretty nice. Having only 4 types is very easy and simple to remember. This allows you to spend the rest of your brain power on other things like commandos, maneuvering the pitch, and finding a way to score. I mentioned before that no element in the game is objectively better than another based on their raw natural properties. This is important because, as I've mentioned time and time again, not all characters are made equal. However, the elements are. This makes the playing field a lot more level for characters with lower stats and makes sure stronger players don't get out of hand. Imagine if Hakuryu with his crackhead stats, triple spirit bitch moves, as well as his element being strong against not only earth, but maybe fire too. Do you see how unbalanced that shit could be? Another example of why the element system in Inazuma 11 is great could be from a different game. The bug type in Pokemon. This type is renowned for being straight booty cheeks. And on a type matchup level, a lot of gymnastics would be required to make it a solid, well-rounded type. And everyone knows damn well Game Freak ain't gonna do shit. Furthermore, 7 out of the 18 types in the series resist your offenses if you're a bug type, and 4 of those are ridiculously common and very strong. There's a diabolical amount of resistances and methods to straight traumatize your bug type partners as well as absolutely shut them down. In Inazuma 11, we don't have to put up with that shit. If someone pulls up to your goalie, they don't have a shitload of ways to deep fry and little bro your keeper based on their type alone. So yeah, the elements are handled great, and I don't know, I don't think we're gonna get a new element in Victory Road, but it would be a nice surprise if we did. Thanks for watching, like, comment, subscribe, goodbye.